What's up, everybody? I'm Alisha, and this is the Gaughans React. Alright, so I am coming to you today solo, and I am really excited. I'm going to be starting reacting to the series The Pacific with you. Michael has already seen The Pacific, so that is why he is absent. So we are cut in half for this one. I'm really excited. So full disclosure, I did start this series when it was first airing. Michael can't remember if I watched the first 2 or possibly 3 episodes, but I didn't see anything past that. I only watched it when it very first came out, and I honestly don't remember much about it. What I do remember is that at that time, I wasn't as impressed with it. So I am a huge Band of Brothers fan and absolutely loved that, and love the stories from Easy Company and learning more about their history and digging into all of that. We just finished watching Masters of the Air, and I also really enjoyed that. I think that we have thoroughly discussed my feelings on that. So if you want to know more about what we thought about that, you can definitely go back and check out Masters of the Air. And we also did a live video where we dived more into our overall thoughts, feelings, and opinions about the show. Definitely some pros, definitely some cons, but overall I did enjoy Masters of the Air. So I am interested to circle back around and watch The Pacific. Michael also started watching it with me when it was first airing, and then he also stopped because he also wasn't impressed. But then recently, just before we started our React channel, actually, unfortunately, he went back and he rewatched The Pacific, and he said he wasn't sure what we didn't like about it because he really enjoyed it when he just recently went back and watched it. So I am really excited to dive into this and watch it. We have had several people request that we react to it, but with Michael having just watched it, he felt like it would be inauthentic for him to react to it because he just recently watched it. So he would either sit here and not really have a reaction, and be trying not to make spoilers for me, or he would have to essentially fake a reaction, which nobody likes, and we are not inauthentic people, so that just wouldn't work for us anyways. So all that said, Michael will not be joining me for this one, but I'm really excited to dive into this and to get to go through this with all of y'all. One of my favorite things about Masters of the Air was getting to hang out with all of you in the comments, so I am hoping that you will join me in the comments on this one as well, and that we get to hang out there. That is my absolute favorite part of doing this. So make sure that you like this video so that I know that you're here. Drop a comment, let me know that you're hanging out and what your thoughts are on The Pacific. No spoilers. And yeah, make sure that you subscribe also so that you are able to catch all the episodes as they come out. Real quick before we dive in, I do want to mention that we have a Patreon, and all of the episodes from this are being uploaded there first. We're actually 4 weeks ahead over on Patreon. So make sure that if you want to be able to catch these episodes ahead of time or kind of binge watch them more so, that you subscribe to our Patreon. We will drop a link for that down in the comments. We're also going to start, there's a lot of movies that people are requesting that we react to that wouldn't really fit for a React channel so much. So what we're going to do is we're going to watch those and film it and film a react for it. But then we're only going to put the full versions over on Patreon, and we aren't going to put an edited version on YouTube. So there will be exclusive content with exclusive movies and shows and things like that over on Patreon that will not make it their way over to YouTube. So if you want to catch some of those more niche and I guess zeroed in movies and stuff like that y'all are requesting down in the comments, some of those we're gonna do, but we're just gonna have them over on Patreon. So make sure that you're checking that out also, because we're going to have those coming very, very soon. Without further ado, let's dive in.
Sorry, Vera. Bob Leckie.
Bob Leckie.
I know who you are, Bob. Take care of yourself.
Maybe I'll write you.
All right.
He seems like he might be a little bit more into her than she is to him.
I miss anything?
The movie hasn't started yet. You don't tell me I missed this thing.
Chester's come and gone. Yeah, just missed him.
Attention on deck!
Carry on.
Fuck you.
They've got to mess with you, though. That's just how it works.
The uniform that you wear will make the difference between the freedom of the world and its enslavement. Japanese are in the process of taking half of the world. Here is what the Japs are not expecting. The United States Marine Corps.
This is a great speech, especially the way he opened it was so powerful.
Hitler is not going to be our job. Not until they can't whip him without us. The Pacific will be our theater of war. You are the sinew and the muscle of the Corps. And whenever this war is over, the victory will have been won by you. The NCOs, with the chevrons on your sleeves and the instincts in your guts and the blood on your boots. Those of you who are lucky enough to get home for Christmas, hold your loved ones dearly, and then report back here, ready to sail across God's vast ocean, where we will meet our enemy and kill them all. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Wow, that was a really powerful speech. It is interesting to think about how I was talking about how like Hitler won't be our focus, Mussolini is not our focus, the Pacific will be our theater. It's just such a different view of the war than I feel like we typically have. I feel like when we study World War II, it does mostly focus on the European theater. So I am excited to dig more into the Pacific because I do feel like I know a lot less about the Pacific theater of the war than I do the European theater, especially like having dug into Band of Brothers and Masters of the Air more.
Soon, 2 of my brothers are leaving to serve their country. When all this is over, let's say a year from tonight, we'll sit down at this table again for a welcome home feast.
It's not going to be a year. These moments would be so bittersweet. Trying to soak up the sweetness of the time that you have, but also the bitterness of knowing they're leaving and not knowing what the future holds, and just all of the fear and everything that would go with that. It would be so bittersweet and so difficult.
The wheel is pulling to one side. Oh, I hope I don't need a new axle. No way I'll get one.
Trying to avoid saying goodbye,
There's
avoiding
war.
the emotions.
Everybody's got to make sacrifices. So that's it, Dad. I gotta go.
It's easier to fix the car than say goodbye to your son. Such a hard thing.
Bye, son.
That was a better moment. At least they had somewhat of a moment. His son definitely wanted that more, probably.
Eugene, I'm sorry.
Is he not fit to fight?
Mama's still there.
Heart murmur.
The boy's disappointed, Mary Frank.
I'm his mother.
His mother must feel so relieved. But that would be tough for him. Especially when all your friends are going and you feel like it's your duty, and it'd be hard to feel left behind, especially because of like a physical weakness or infirmary.
You're 18, Eugene. You don't need your father's permission.
Can't go against him, Sid. When do you leave?
I'm on the 6 a.m. train to Atlanta.
Is he gonna try to join up anyways?
Today, Marines!
Well, at least they give you a good meal before the send-off.
Hey, can someone remind me why we're here again?
You wanna know why we're here? Without a sign, his sword the brave man draws, and that's no omen but his country's cause.
Give me back my smoke.
You gotta stop this.
Here we go.
Heard about the Japs. The treacherous bastards may have started this war. We will finish it when you see the Japs. Kill them all!
Wow. Wow. I can't imagine climbing on that cargo net with all that crazy going on around you and just...
We'll get him, baby!
I'm a sympathetic puker, so a guy throwing up next to me would be game over.
Welcome to Guadalcanal.
At least they didn't get thrown right into the thick of it the first instance they're on the beach.
Corporal Dobson says the Japs might have poisoned the coconuts.
They poisoned 1 billion coconuts?
Excuse me.
You haven't even started fighting yet. What did you do to
Intelligence
yourself?
has it the Japs move back into the jungle. Clean the sand out of your weapons. We move in 3 minutes.
This would be such a new climate and environment and territory for so many of them. They have to feel just like completely out of their element. Definitely looks like they left in a hurry. It looks like there's like meals partially finished. The trees and the foliage is so thick. Oh, the mosquitoes. Ugh. That would be horrible. Oh my gosh.
Goddamn bastards.
That is not what you want to see as you're marching to try and find the enemy. Oh my gosh. Was there actually anything there? Oh.
I went to take a piss. Somebody opened up.
Oh my goodness. That's so sad.
I don't know.
I'm sure they're all just exhausted and on edge, but stuff like that is so hard to reconcile.
It's the 5th Marines on the airfield.
Guess we took the airfield. Well, let's go home.
No fires, 2-hour watches. Let's assume the Japs are watching right now, preparing to come at us.
Assume. They are.
Can you imagine being on one of those ships?
30 cal ammo.
Thank you.
That's Admiral Turner blowing the whole Jap fleet to the bottom of the channel.
Love your optimism.
It's definitely optimism.
Where's the Navy? Gone. We lost 4 cruisers. Turner took everyone left and headed for open sea. We're it for now.
The Elliots of Turner?
Wow.
Zero crashed into her amidships. She went down with half the battalion's ammo, most about grubbing medical supplies.
That is a huge loss. That is not the position you want to be in. Basically being abandoned with limited supplies.
Jap Navy is right over the horizon, Phillips. Not now, then when?
Stay low, stay low. They're just trying to spot our positions. Hold your fire.
No, don't take your helmet off. That seems like a very, very bad idea.
Jesus Christ.
Man.
There are thousands of them.
Sheesh. That'd be so intimidating to see them all just like right there. Man.
Set in along here. Watch the opposite bank.
It's good.
Razor wire.
A company made contact. 3 miles east. Destroy any letters you have with any date or addresses.
Interesting. I wonder why that is. Oh my gosh. Man, attacking in the middle of the night like that would definitely catch you more off your guard and be way harder to fight back. You just kind of have to blindly shoot it where you see the light coming from.
Fire! They're flanking us! Stand more! You gotta move over to the left flank!
Oh my gosh.
Are you okay?
Just not mentally handling this well. Oh my gosh. Having to like tear that down and set that back up every time. And it looks so heavy. Gosh, they are flanking them. Wow. Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh. That'd be such a hard thing to lay there and look at. Just, oh my goodness.
I mean, we chewed him up.
They just kept on coming.
A real turkey shoot.
Fireman, we got a live one here. No hiccup!
Oh. That like kamikaze, like take them down with you kind of mentality that they had was so, I think, contradictory to how Americans kind of naturally thought, that it just caught him by surprise. Don't play with him. Because we don't play with people, even if they're the enemy.
Captain Jameson's been relieved. Oh, and Jurgens, good job moving around last night. Got you promoted to corporal.
These must be the bastards who took Guam.
Had an American flag in his backpack.
It seems a lifetime since we met outside St. Mary's. This great undertaking for God and country has landed us in a tropical paradise. It is a Garden of Eden. The jungle holds both beauty and terror in its depths, most terrible of which is man. We have met the enemy and have learned nothing more about him. I have, however, learned some things about myself. There are things men can do to one another that are sobering to the soul.
Yeah, that's absolutely true.
These things of God, but another to square it with yourself.
That was a powerful line.
Reinforcements. 7th, all dressed up for Sunday school.
Where you heading? Tokyo! Care to join us?
It's a way, sir. Ride us when you get there.
You guys step aside. The real Marines are here now.
And I've been here for some time.
Seen those guys? They look like they've been through the ringer.
Your mother would like to know if you want us to send you your dress blue uniform. Just think we get a lot of fancy dress balls around here.
Hey, if we have one,
no thanks.
You are ugly. I want Hoosier. Take a number.
This one here is from a buddy of mine back in Mobile. And I hope this gets to you before your birthday. Truth is, you're the lucky one, Sid. You'll never have that nagging thought that you let your family, your friends, and your country down. Because that's what I'm afraid of.
Hey, finish it.
That's tough.
Your friend wants to be a Marine.
Yeah, but his father won't let him. Got a heart murmur.
Hey, when's your birthday, Sid?
Just a couple weeks ago.
How old are you?
18.
Happy birthday.
A grenade for your birthday present. Can't imagine being an 18-year-old and facing all of those things. Wow, that was intense. I mean, it was like kind of a slow burn until it got to that actual battle scene, and then that was pretty intense. I know, just from what I know about the war in the Pacific, is that it was pretty brutal, and from other movies that I've seen about the war in the Pacific, I know that it gets pretty brutal, so I was like apprehensive of that going into this episode, but definitely glad that it was kind of let us in a little bit easy. Not that battle was easy, but it is just very interesting to kind of compare and contrast the mindset and the mentality of the fight in the Pacific versus the fight in the European theater. And it was interesting too, the leader, I'm not good with ranks, sorry. The leader who kind of had that mental break in that foxhole. It was interesting, and while it was happening, I was thinking about it, and when we were watching Masters of the Air, one of the things that came out is that when soldiers would have that mental fatigue and kind of tap out mentally during the war, they were removed from the base, and they were sent somewhere to recoup and recover, or sent to serve somewhere else. But in their situation, where they're essentially, at that point stranded on this island and whatnot, like, what do you do with someone like that? He's had this mental break. It's not good for morale. It's not good for the other men to see him like this. But then what can you do with him? Like, it's not like you can send him to a nice country home somewhere else in England to recoup and recover, and then like put him on desk duty because you're on an island surrounded by enemy troops. Like that. That's something that I feel like would be harder over in the Pacific theater, is to deal with things like that and to help people like that, as well as they were able to, like, in, parts of the European theater. Obviously, there are parts of the European theater where they were in similar situations, especially like the people on the ground and stuff like that. But that was just kind of interesting. I was thinking about that while I was watching it and just kind of pondering what would they do for someone like that in the situation that they were in. That would be really difficult to try and contend with and deal with, especially when it's, your senior ranking officer, and how do you help this man who's technically in charge, but also absolutely not in a fit state to be leading anyone in that moment. But yeah, I am really interested to see where this goes. I definitely felt like I did not remember any of that. So it definitely did feel very like fresh and new. It's been such a long time since I've seen it that I did not really remember any of that. So it was really, really good. I am excited to continue with this series, to dig more into the Pacific and to learn more about it. But yeah, just that scene though, like the morning after that big battle and just seeing all of those bodies, like that would be so hard, whether they're enemy troops or, that mixture or whatever. It would just be hard to see that many bodies and just have it like staring you in the face. Like that would be, I would struggle with that personally. But that was interesting. I also, when they were toying with that Japanese soldier, I'll admit, like I had a really hard time with that because I fully get like in war, you do things that you would not do in a normal situation, obviously. But at the same time, like I did love that they were playing with him and toying with him and kind of like shooting his shoulder and shooting to the left of him and the right of him and like toying with him. I know something that's really big to the Japanese is fighting with honor and dying with honor. And just knowing that that is probably the mindset that this man has. And then here's these American troops just toying with him. I didn't love that. I didn't love how the portrayal of the American troops there. And I know, again, like war has ugly things in it, obviously. I'm definitely not ignorant to that. But also I think that it's important even when we don't agree with people and are on opposite sides of somebody, that we still treat them with dignity. And even if you're in a war type situation where you are ultimately going to kill that enemy, there's codes of conduct, right? Like we need to, if you're going to kill somebody, do it with dignity. Like that's a weird thing to say, but I didn't love that they were toying with that soldier. And I wonder like how accurate that is to like things that would actually happen versus like they just did it for the show. I don't know if that's something that we even know, but I didn't like that part at all. So that was really difficult for me to watch. I just think that people deserve to be treated with honor and dignity, even if they are your enemy or on the other side of things. So, but anyways, that was a hard part for me, but overall I did really, really enjoy this episode and I am excited to watch the next one. Thank you guys so much for tuning in with me. I am excited to go on this little solo journey with you guys and see where it takes us. And yeah, so make sure that you, again, drop comments down below, fill me in on all the details, things I missed. I love learning from you guys. So tell me all the things about this episode, no spoilers, so that I can learn from you and dig more into this. Thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure you drop those comments down below. Subscribe to the Patreon if you want to be able to binge watch a few of these and see them released ahead of time. I am 4 episodes ahead over on Patreon, so make sure that you are joining me over there. We are, like I said, going to be releasing some movies over there that we will not cut down and edit for YouTube. So we will have more content over there than we're going to have on our YouTube channel. There's just some movies that probably wouldn't do as well like with the YouTube algorithm, but we still think that they're absolutely worth watching and reacting to. So for those movies, we're going to put those just over on Patreon. So make sure that you are over there with us. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and make sure that you like this video also. And I am excited to catch you in the next one. Thanks so much, everyone.